called in by the care center, 81-year-old female. So she's hurt and cannot walk. 1220 Harrison Street.
550 Eastern. That looks like she continued west.
I was just drawn to it. There's no history of cops in my family. I'm the first of my family. At an early age, in a sophomore in high school, started doing the job placement, surveys and whatnot. And about a sophomore in high school, I just decided I'm going to be a cop, and I made choices in my life that prepared me. Choices I made got me to where I am today. There's always the risk of doing the wrong thing and being either sued or charged for it. This isn't like downtown Detroit or anything like that, but still, things happen, students get out of hand, and we have to make judgment calls at a very short amount of time, so that is always a risk of doing the wrong thing. I think the idea of public safety on a campus is important because if you look at the rising trend of school shooters, we live on this campus. We breathe this campus. I know for a fact the Superior Police Department would be able to get to the address, but it would take them a while. They don't know the campus as well as we do, and once they get out of their car, they're going to be completely lost. They don't know the inside of the buildings like we do. They don't know, the ins and outs of all the floors, the little quirks that some of our buildings have, like we do. Do I think we're underappreciated? I'd say yes and no. We get called a lot for things we shouldn't really get called for. While we're trying to drive lights and siren, to the hall. So we're taking multiple phone calls and answering our radio while we're driving. So yes, in that instance, people do appreciate, and I think that we're here when they're trying to call us for things like that. We do have a program, an after-hours program, where we let students into the buildings 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, if they have a little yellow piece of paper that says they can. Where we run into that is, it seems that some students seem to think that's our only responsibility on this campus, and when we don't get there in 1.5 minutes, they're upset that we took so long, when really we could be doing a multitude of other things. If it's not a us versus them sort of mentality, I can usually get more information out of people that I need, and people aren't intimidated to come to me with stuff that they want to report or want to talk about. But on the other side of that, having a small community like this makes it harder to blend in when I want. Keith and I were looking for a guy we suspected stole an iPod, and he was in the Yellow Jacket Union at lunchtime, so Keith and I went in plain clothes and had lunch at the Yellow Jacket Union, and everybody kept coming up to us, "Hey, what are you guys undercover?" And we're like, "Actually, yeah, we are, go away." So that kind of made it a little harder to do surveillance when we wanted to. I've used our technology to our advantage and gone to a few different departments and gotten our department hooked up to Res Life. So we have all of the contracts for the dorms, so we know who lives there. We have access to that. We have access to the parking permits in the car, which before we didn't. We'd have to come back to the office to check. So now we can check a lot more information. Student ID photos, all of that we can access in the car now. So we have a lot more information than people think we do. But yet they still try to run from us. There's actually a lot that's really rewarding on this campus. In general, being around students and having the rapport that I do with our students is very rewarding.